Time being 6 o'clock, I call the June 17, 2026 Franklin Town Council meeting to order. Have a moment of silence, please. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Note to residents, all citizens are welcome to attend public meetings in person. To view the live meeting remotely, citizens are encouraged to watch the live stream on the Franklin Town Hall TV YouTube channel or live broadcast on Comcast Channel 9, Verizon Channel 29. To listen to the meeting remotely, citizens may call in using the number 1-929-205-6099. To participate in the meeting remotely, citizens may join the Zoom webinar. I'll give the information below. Meetings are recorded and archived by Franklin TV on the Franklin Town Hall TV YouTube channel and shown repeatedly on Comcast Channel 9 and Verizon Channel 29. The Zoom webinar ID number is 864-963-0883. Any participants who wish to speak must enter their full name and address when joining the webinar. All participants will automatically be muted upon joining the webinar. In order to speak, participants will need to select the raise hand function to request to be unmuted. All speakers will be required to state their full name and street address before commenting. Announcements from the chair. Nobody participating remotely. Upcoming sponsored community events. The 2026 Farmers Market season has begun. Farmers Markets take place every Friday, June through October, from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. at the Franklin Town Hall. There's an announcement on the World Cup, but we're going to have Ryan speak on that in a minute. Pride Month celebration Saturday, June 27th, 12 p.m. Rain date is Sunday, June 28th. The Franklin LGBTQ Alliance presents Celebrate with Pride, a festival for all ages with live music, arts, and crafts, vendors, food trucks, and more. Franklin's July 4th festivity on the Common, July 1st through July 5th. The fireworks will be July 2nd at 10 p.m. The next town council office hours will be tomorrow, Thursday, June 18th, 8:30 a.m. at the Senior Center. Ryan?
Yeah.
What do you got?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ryan Jetty, Recreation Director. Corey Shea is with me from Culture Arts and Creative Economy. First, I just want to congratulate the fire and police swearing in tonight to those members. It's great for them, and I appreciate their service. Just wanted to come up and speak briefly about the next week's FIFA World Cup event. The watch parties are going to be held on Wednesday, June 24th, and Thursday, June 25th from 3 to 9 p.m. on the Franklin Town Common and the adjacent Hayward Manor property. The event is being coordinated through a regional grant partnership involving the Metro West Boston Business Bureau in the town. We received 2 grants so far, one for $60,000 and then one specifically earmarked for public safety for $25,000. The event is going to feature outdoor viewing of 4 FIFA World Cup matches on a large 20-foot Jumbotron screen. There's going to be a large community gathering on the grass area at the Hayward Manor. There'll be tons of food vendors, fully fenced in, well, it hasn't been approved yet, but a fully fenced in beer garden, 21 plus. Sponsor activities and informational booths. There'll be vendor tents set up all over the common. There'll be some soccer target type things for the kids, and plenty of seating and tents with tables and chairs for those that want to eat. Attendance is anticipated to range about 1,500 to 3,000 visitors per day. The city of Marlborough, town of Marlborough, just hosted 3 days of these World Cup parties, and they were very successful with minimal problems. I think a slap fight between two teenagers was about the highlight of the 3 days. So there's been a lot of operational planning that has gone into this. Corey and I have been working on this for about 10 months now. And we do have a professional event management services company called Co-Ventures that has been hired through the grant, that has extensive experience working on producing large-scale public events like this. They'll have dedicated site management and event staff throughout the day, both days, coordination with all the vendors and management. They're coordinating a lot of the volunteers for us. We've worked with several departments in town through many meetings, administration, Jamie's office, police, fire, DPW, facilities, the rec department, arts and culture, and planning department, and the schools as well. We feel like we've covered turned over every stone and tried to cover every base we could. With sanitation, we have DPW workers that are being paid through the grant to empty trash barrels and throw them into the dumpsters, and getting them out on Friday morning to make sure they comb neighbors' yards to make sure everything's cleaned up. We have plenty of portable toilets that will be on site. We have dedicated handicap parking at the Federated Church. We've identified over 1,200 parking spots between Franklin High School, the middle school, the senior center, Davis there, Dean College. So we feel like we've covered everything. There will be significant police and fire presence on site. I don't know if the chief wants to talk about any of that, but they'll have a command center that'll be located on site as well. We'll have designated emergency access lanes. We're going to close down Main Street from Church Square to the top of High Street in that area so that pedestrian traffic is safe going back and forth from the common. Food trucks will all be lined up along Main Street on the common. So yeah, it's going to be a great day. We hope everybody comes out, and if anybody has questions, Corey, did I cover everything?
Thank you, crushed it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any questions from anybody? I think you covered it pretty much. Yeah, pretty good, Ryan.
Yeah.
I think you're good.
All right.
Thank you for
All right,
your
yeah,
hard
thank
work.
you.
It took you a long
I
time.
appreciate it. Hope everyone comes out and enjoys the day.
Thank you.
That's great. Thank you.
Okay, moving on. Citizens' comments. Citizens are welcome to express their views for up to 3 minutes on a matter that is not on the agenda in compliance with Chapter 38, Section 20, the Open Meeting Law. The council cannot engage in a dialogue or comment on a matter raised during citizens' comments. The council may ask the town administrator to review the matter. Nothing herein shall prevent the town administrator from correcting a misstatement of fact. Is there anybody in the audience there?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Steve Sherlock, 13 Magnolia Drive, Community Information Director for Franklin Matters, Franklin Public Radio. Well, I've been doing more video recently. I thought I'd tap a couple of videos of interest. One to the general public from more of a statewide issue. I sat with our state rep, Jeff Roy, and he explained the audit issue, which has still been some conversation around it. So we've got a video available with a host of links to really get into the issue, and hopefully that'll provide some insights. Secondly, of more local nature, certainly the Beaver Street Interceptor. Thanks to the DPW access, we took the video crew into the Beaver Street lift station, which was put this kind of small building in front of the recreation building.
Yeah.
We got the crew to go inside with Doug's guidance and the contractor's guidance. You can come along and see what's inside. That's approximately 25% of the $30 million worth of the project. It's quite impressive. Encouraged viewing of that. It's available on YouTube. You can go to Franklin Matters look for Franklin Matters, BSI, or Beaver Street lift stations should be easy to find. Similarly on Jeff Roy audit, you should be able to find it. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Evening, councilors. Joel DeRico, 72 Deerview Way. I wanted to come up and speak to you tonight about, as homeowners, if we had to make choices for an in-ground gunite swimming pool versus insulating our home and redoing a 35-year-old heating system, we would make a decision to do the practical thing, the practical event. The example that I just gave you has to do with the roads in Franklin. And in speaking to Kerry Bertone a year or so ago, she informed me that she sends out 34,000 excise tax bills. So those are 34,000 residents and taxpayers that use our roads. And I wrote to you, maybe 4 months ago, about taking some of the free cash, using it so that Brutus could play catch-up with his roads. And I'm here to ask you if you could defer or delay what your plans were for King Street, because I understand that there's over $1 million in electrical work for night lighting. And I consider that a luxury when I look at Partridge Street, portions of Maple Street, Peck Street, lower portions of Winterberry, which is a checkerboard of large patches. We probably have 12 to 14 roads that we don't have the money to handle it with. The state gave us an extra $400,000 out of the Chapter 90 money, but it doesn't go anywhere because of prevailing wage. So I'm in favor of recreation, but I think night games are a luxury versus 33,000 people that are using our roads, plus the other trucks and so forth that are here. So I would ask you if you would consider delaying King Street's $1.2 million. I understand you have bathrooms you got to take care of, but the electrical portion, so that we can get our roads in shape so that Brutus can catch up. I can't stay tonight, but I'm on my way to a candidates night in Medway High School for the Norfolk County DA. And I'm supporting Adam Deach, who's a federal attorney, works with Leah Foley in the Moakley building, and he's running for Norfolk County DA. And perhaps you might see him here. Have a pleasant evening.
All right, thanks.
Thanks.
Is there anybody else out there?
Kim Mitchell, 4 Barrow Road, and I'm chair of the Board of Health. And today I am your walking public service announcement. So just so that you guys know, the Franklin Health Department actually has a Facebook page now. And in case you're wondering, why would I want to look at the Franklin Health Department's Facebook page? Well, recently she's done things like the narrow organics formula recall. You don't want to give your baby botulism, therefore, read it. She's also had some information on ticks and on mosquitoes. And most importantly, it has the new information in terms of the cooling shelters, because it's now summer and it's getting really, really hot. And so Monday through Friday, the senior center is open from 8:30 to 4 p.m. The library Monday through Thursday is open from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Friday to Saturday, it's open from 9 to 5 p.m. But then what happens on Sunday? Because with the override that failed, the library is no longer open on Sunday. What do you do if you're really, really, really hot? You come to New England Chapel. If it's going to be 85 degrees or higher for greater than 3 days, New England Chapel will be open from 8:30 in the morning to 4:30. And to make it nice, we have games for people to play. We have a huge TV that you can watch TV as well. So we're trying to make it nice for people to, we don't have food, but we have water and other things. But it's a nice place to cool down and just relax in case you're really, really hot. The other thing is, my husband and I actually were at the Stop the Bleed training today at the fire department. So if you have never done Stop the Bleed or hands-only CPR, I highly recommend it. Lori was awesome in teaching the class, and it was just really, really informative, and it's information that can help save people in the future. And while I was there, we actually have a presentation that's going to be done. And actually, there is a Franklin resident who was a graduate from Franklin High School in 2022, Catherine Smith. She's currently a Mass Bay Community College paramedic intern. And on Monday, July 20th at 4 p.m. at the Franklin Fire Department headquarters on 40 West Central Street, she's actually going to be doing a presentation on emergency preparedness, what to do until help arrives. And what she says is oftentimes bystanders are the first responders to medical emergencies. Learn what to do for common emergencies and how to stay calm and provide assistance until help arrives. So I would strongly recommend people come to this because I think it'll be interesting, plus it's supporting one of our own in terms of doing a presentation that she needs to do for school. And the last thing was, my husband and I were just talking yesterday, and we're originally from California, but we are 36-year Franklin residents. And we were talking about how fortunate we are to live in this town because we truly believe we have the best fire and police department in the country. And we are so
Is there anybody else? Dave?
Dave Callahan, 30 Plain Street. No school committee update. Today, meetings next week. I don't know what the cookies will be, but it won't be brownies. Really here, just to kind of thank everybody for participating in the Franklin Fathers kickball tournament that happened over the weekend. This was such an amazing event that we had, and I know that our team, while the outcome wasn't what we hoped for, team executive session, we had school committee members, town council members, our kids, town administrator, fire chief, the school superintendent, all coming together to play kickball and raise money for some great organizations with Franklin Fathers, the American Legion, and the Franklin Food Pantry. We actually at one point, we had Councilor Grella giving my kid a couple of bucks so that way he could throw the balls and try to get Jamie Helen. And it was just absolutely fantastic. Kind of go piggyback on it. It makes like this community so fantastic. That's why I love this whole weekend. We got the strawberry stroll on Friday, and then it ended with the kickball tournament. All kind of like, especially after the budget season, where so many were in these meetings or in the council chambers so long, making so many hard decisions, and then at the end of that week, get to kind of take out all that frustration and just enjoy ourselves playing great games with kickball. So thank you all so much for participating. It was fantastic. And we'll have spring training next year, and we'll be the Cinderella story when we come back. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Dave. Anybody else?
Hello, Stephen Balcom, 9 Independence Way. I'm new to Franklin, and I think I picked the best day to talk about this issue. First off, I just want to say great job, Franklin Police. You guys are amazing and heroes to us all. So it's kind of weird that I'm bringing this up on this day of all days. But I'm here to express my concern regarding flock surveillance cameras and what I believe should be done about them. Unfortunately, I've noticed 2 of these cameras in our town, which means that as we speak, hundreds if not thousands of drivers are being tracked in real time without a warrant or any suspicion of a crime. The way these cameras work is by indiscriminately taking a photo of every vehicle that drives past. The photo is sent to a massive data center where AI identifies the make, model, color, plate number, dents, scratches, and bumper stickers. So it makes these terms searchable with simple keywords, so even if the plate is obscured, the vehicle can be tracked thanks to a bumper sticker. With this information, you can paint a very intimate picture of someone's life, where they work, what days of the week do they work, where do they shop, where do they worship, who are they dating right now. In short, with enough cameras and a questionable understanding of the Fourth Amendment, it is equivalent to placing a GPS tracker on millions of vehicles. But why is this being done? Well, the police want such a network because flock cameras are primarily used by law enforcement. They help police recover stolen vehicles, identify suspects, and even pinpoint the exact whereabouts of those suspects. And while I will agree that the system does work for these purposes, the police will also agree with me that the system can be easily abused. For example, an officer resigned from the Milwaukee Police Department after allegedly using this technology to track his ex-girlfriend over 180 times over a 2-month period. And if you think that's bad, he was also tracking her new boyfriend. Now, even though our officers are amazing, and they don't even have to do anything wrong in order for the system to be compromised, a YouTuber was even able to gain access to the system in his own state on more than one occasion, and yes, he made a YouTube video about it to show just how disturbing the situation is. Thankfully, he was ethical and wanted to educate people, but I ask you, what if he wasn't ethical? This information could easily be sold for a profit, or they could blackmail the individual stalked by this network because now they know too much. So what should we do about it? I believe we should make Benjamin Franklin proud and join the 70 cities that have rejected dragnet surveillance cameras. Franklin himself said those who would give up essential liberty to purchase a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety. While historians debate the original context of this quote, I would argue that it captures Franklin's actual worldview. He believed protecting core freedoms was more important than the violation of such to make our lives marginally safer. Our town bears his name. I believe we should bear its principles. At the very least, we should set to have a deeper conversation about this at a later date because the subject deserves more than 3 minutes. I will be emailing each of you individually. Please get in contact with me. Let's have a deeper conversation about this. Thank you. And once again, huge respect to the Franklin Police Department. Thank you for being heroes, and thank you.
Is there anybody else? Council James. There's only a couple people on Zoom, and I don't think they're...
No.
Okay.
Well, that's it.
All right, so we'll move on to council comments. Council Malloy?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Quick one tonight. Usually we're thanking the police or fire department or DPW or the school committee or others for great and important work that they've done. But tonight I just want to take 2 seconds to thank all of my fellow councilors for their efforts and work over the last month or so in particular. As we went through a budget process, we had our discussions and disagreements, and what I think was a long but healthy discussion last week. As a new counselor, I just want to thank everybody for your civility and your respect and opinions and honesty in terms of positions and so forth. It just made me feel really good to be part of a group with that level of integrity and decency. So thank each of you.
Thank you, Steve. Pat?
Just to carry on the thread around the wrap up of this budget season, I think I'll echo Councilor Malloy's comments about how well I think we worked together to get to a solution that I think is going to make sense for the next year. But I do want to highlight 2 things that have been on the back of my mind as we think through it. One of the things that we did was bring back positions that ideally will help us drive revenue, or that are just overall better for the town in terms that we want to see. And I believe in that. But at the same time, we have to recognize that if we are unable to find a strategic path to increasing the pie that we have, that those positions are gone and perhaps more. So I do want to give us a little bit of a pat on the back in terms of getting to where we are, but let's not stretch, let's not pull our arms out of the socket to pat ourselves on the back, because there's still a lot of work to be done. As we think about, I think it becomes increasingly and incredibly important for us to put together a strategic plan that allows us to identify and adhere to principles that minimize the need for us to get back to the situations we've seen too often over the past few years. When we're making trade-offs, like, do we want to keep our left arm or our right leg? I know I use that analogy a lot, but it feels like what we too often have had to do. So ultimately, I just want to say I'm glad that we got to a reasonable, what I think is a reasonable place this year, but there's a lot of work to be done. Thank you.
Thanks. I totally agree with you too.
Caroline?
Okay, on a lighter note, I'm just going to comment about what exciting things that we've had in the town of Franklin in the last month. For the last, even just a couple of weeks, we had our first ever restaurant week, which I believe, too bad Corey left, can't ask her, but I believe it was a great success. I know I participated in it. Took my kids to a restaurant with just me and 3 kids. That was a handful, but with everyone participating, it was a really good experience to get to participate in that. The farmers market has started. We've had a couple of those going really well, as it always does. The strawberry stroll on Friday was phenomenal, so congratulations to Corey and to our Culture Council and Culture and Arts Department. And the Franklin Fathers Kickball, I know that's not a town event, but there were a lot of townspeople there, a lot of community members, a lot of residents. It was awesome, and I'm not going to repeat everything that Dave said, but another thing that I just wanted to mention is he was talking about money that was raised for different really good groups. There was also an ice cream truck there who raised money for the middle school capital campaign for their auditorium. So I just wanted to mention that again. I know we've talked about it a few times. I'm putting a little plug that they are still having that matching program. If anyone is interested in contributing to that to get the auditorium to where it needs to be. And then I'm really excited about the upcoming World Cup watch parties. And so if you're interested in going, don't forget to reserve your tickets online ahead of time. And then the 4th of July events again. So really exciting things that have been going on and continue to go on. And it's just, it's really wonderful time to be, out and about in this community, to see everyone mingling at the farmers market, at the strawberry stroll, anticipating lots of people at the World Cup watch parties. And just, I've really enjoyed just seeing everyone out there, and encourage everyone to participate. That's all.
Councilwoman Wentz.
And you're third, and the other 3 people have said everything. There's really nothing more to add.
I know, I agree.
It's been, I've said the one thing I'll comment is when the warm weather comes out and summer comes, things get done, and this happened over the last 3 weeks, and will happen over the next 3 weeks. So I'll leave it at that. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, good evening. I just want to highlight 3 wonderful moments from our community this past month. The first, I had the honor of attending a proclamation ceremony where we presented a proclamation to Reverend Bev from the First Universalist Society of Franklin, who just stepped down from her role there. Her steady, grounding work in our interfaith community will be deeply missed and is greatly appreciated. Second, I was honored to attend the Franklin High School's graduation on June 5th. Watching our students step into the future was a powerful reminder of what public education makes possible here in Franklin. Third, like other people up here, I wanted to celebrate Franklin Fathers inaugural ball tournament. I was happy I got to score a run, so I was really good, felt good about that. And it was fun to be participate alongside my fellow counselors and school committee members on the executive session team. I also want to recognize some important achievements in our community. First, I want to recognize Ryan Pear, a Special Olympics athlete who was just signed to the New England Revolution 2026 Unified Team. He also raised $770 at the Polar Plunge at Gillette Stadium, and it's a great community spirit. I also want to thank our Franklin Fire Department and Police Department, who received the EMS Service and Organization of the Year Award for saving a newborn in cardiac arrest. Officers Dave Gove and Amanda Ayer of the Franklin Fire Department deserve our heartfelt thanks for their life-saving professionalism. I'm also honored to welcome our 3 new members of our public safety teams, Joanna Motiso, joining the Franklin Fire Department as a firefighter and paramedic, Danielle Mercado, becoming our new police department clinician, and Caleb McLean as a newest police officer. These 3 bring fresh energy, commitment, and expertise to serving our community, and we're honored to have you aboard. I'd like to recognize the Franklin Food Pantry Stamp Out Hunger Food Drive. We collected approximately 10,000 pounds of food, which approximately translates to 8,300 meals for neighbors in need. This effort recognizes who we are as a community, especially during a time when food assistance in need is at an all-time high. I'd like to offer congratulations to the SAFE Coalition on securing an earmark grant from the state's $1.25 million Mosaic Municipal Matching Grant Program for the opioid crisis response. I think that's a huge win for our community. Looking forward to summer programming, we have the Do Dulce concert, June 18th, at the Franklin Public Library at 7 p.m. We'll also have concerts on the Common every Thursday evening from 3 to 7:30, excluding July 3rd. You can find the information at our website, franklinma.gov. We're also celebrating the nation's 250th birthday with the 8th Mike Krangle Blues Festival on July 4th. I think, I don't know if this is correct, but I think music was around 5 days. I don't know if that's correct, but I'm sorry. And so summer's here. We're moving with real energy and purpose, from kickball to award-winning emergency responses, from the food pantry drives to the community. We're really sort of doing well as a community, and I just want to thank everyone here who pitched into that. So thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Okay.
Hi, okay. On a serious note, I'm going to agree with Steve. Sorry, Counselor. I don't even know your last name. Boy. I'm so used to calling you Steve. I don't even know your last name. But I agree with you, and I also, Counselor Ogier. I did not vote for the budget, and I still believe in how I voted. But as being on council, I am committed to making whatever the decisions work so we thrive. That is my goal, so even though I wasn't for it, I will try to support things going forward because the goal is to thrive. But I will always let you know what I'm thinking. On a light note, the kickball game was phenomenal. I just vote for fall next year, not 90-degree heat, because that was horrible. And kudos to Jamie, who raised the most money on the bidding to get dunked first. The strawberry stroll was great. Obviously, it was really, really hot. And like I said, I'll be joining the farmers market Fridays as well. Come out and see us, come say hi. And that's pretty much all I have to say.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First off, thank you and congrats to everybody that participated in that really fun kickball tournament. My husband and I played on Jeff Roy's team, and it was great to be in executive session. Just throwing that little plug out there. We didn't win anything past that, but beating that one was very satisfying. Congratulations to all of our graduates this year. It was an honor alongside Councilor Morangello to attend the Franklin High School graduation. But I also want to congratulate our Tri-County grads, all the kids from Franklin who attend private school. Best of luck to all of you. Let's see, thank you to everybody that attended the Pride flag raising ceremony. So it was just a few weeks ago, but we didn't have council comments the last session due to the budget. So that was a very meaningful ceremony, and certainly appreciate the support. And lastly, I'm going to take a little minute to throw these up there and say thank you to everybody who made this happen, because today I was one of 105 awardees across the state to be recognized in the first ever Commonwealth Pride Award ceremony at the State House. So thank you for the honor. Thank you, Representative Roy, for the nomination, and Senator Roush for the nomination. And to all of those little, maybe those gay kids out there who are wondering, does it get any better? It does. And if I can look back and tell that scared little kid that I was 30 years ago that everything was going to be okay, that'd be my message. So thank you very much. It was very humbling to get these today and to be in the State House with such great company, and to certainly was a very proud moment. So thank you very much for that. And with that, I yield, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, let's give Ted a little bit of.
So since I'm next up, I will say congratulations to Ted. That's pretty awesome. I want to address the kickball game. And I happened to strike out in the kickball game. I didn't know if that was possible. Okay. So there's a little something going on there. The pitcher was bouncing the ball, you know, and the rules I'm used to were written in junior high. There was no bouncing the ball.
No, it's wrong.
Okay, so I don't know. I'm going to protest that victory by the Roy team. All I have to say is, you know, the stuff that's going on in the town is pretty awesome with what we have coming up, including the watch parties, which should be fun. And anyone has seen all the stuff on social media regarding the World Cup and what's going on. I happen to know somebody or worked with somebody who was in the Tartan Army, and that was like incredible. He did the march all the way into Fenway and was at Fenway Park for that whole thing where they were just singing the whole game. I don't know if they watched the game, they just kind of drank and sang. They actually, you know, drank a lot of the pubs dry. They set a record for, you know, for drinking in town. They beat St. Patrick's Day, so that's incredible. So anyway, it's a lot of fun. Can't wait to see who comes in these watch parties, and I'm really looking forward to the 4th of July events that are coming up. And that's it for me.
Thank you. Yeah, unfortunately, I couldn't attend the graduation. I had a little bit of a previous engagement. My daughter got married, so I really couldn't miss that. So, and I was away this weekend, so I couldn't play kickball. But I heard it was a great time. Just the 4th of July is going to be good. If you guys are around there, I'll probably be cooking fried dough with the rod and gun. So come over and I'll give you a little bigger piece than you're supposed to get. We can work on that. So, but outside of that, that's it. I'm going to skip a little bit because Jim Lane needs to go to another appointment. It's very important. So I'm going to go to the appointment of the Finance Committee. He had to come. His appointment's really 6 o'clock, but he's postponing it. So.
Do you want me just to read his name?
Yeah, just his name. We'll do the rest.
So this will be committee appointments. On June 17th, 2026, the town administrator has appointed the following individual. Mr. James Lane of 154 Long Hill Road, with a term to expire June 30th, 2029, to serve on the Finance Committee. This would be a motion to ratify this single appointment.
Just a single appointment. We can do that, Mike, because that's not a problem, right? Jim, you have anything to say?
No. I'm very happy to be here, and thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service. I know Jim for a long time. He'll be a great addition to that. He's a very hard worker down at the senior center and wherever he goes. So it's definitely going to benefit the town. So, is there any questions?
Yeah, no, thank you, Jim, for stepping up. This is great. I'm glad to see you step aboard. My just concern, as I always have said at these meetings, is about process and making sure that when we have these resolutions, we state that it's the town council that makes these appointments for FinCom. So just another reminder for next time we'll do that.
Thank you. So with that, all in favor?
Are we in second motion?
That's a motion, right?
Second, I second the motion.
All right, so I have a motion in a second. We already did the discussion. All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. Let me get my bag.
Moving on, subcommittee, ad hoc committee reports. Joint subcommittee, next meeting is August 13th at 6 p.m.
Yes.
Anything else?
No, nothing to add.
EDC, next meeting is July 23rd at 6 p.m. Anything to add?
I do have a report from the committee. We talked about sort of, eventually we're going to have a discussion about tax rates. We decided the full council should have that discussion with the assessors rather than as a subcommittee previewing it, just because there's a lot of different voices on council on that issue. So we felt we really should moderate that. But we do want to talk to the assessors still about new growth analysis and some other things as well. But we felt that the full council should make the final decision on the tax rates. We're also working on downtown revitalization with UMass Boston, who has some students in a class that's going to be working on it with us. Industrial park opportunities, permitting efficiency, Steve Sherlock is actually organizing a business community meeting on tax rates in July, with a possible follow-up in August. So more sort of discussion about those things so we get all the information. The subcommittee added a business summit to the work plan for fall of 2026 or spring of 2027, partnering with 3 regional chambers of commerce. Subcommittee members noted that the unlisted work plan items might get over, there was some goals that might get overlooked and they weren't in the work plan, so just trying to merge them and ensuring priorities like form-based code, 40R zoning, climate leader designation, and design review improvements stay visible. We'll also get a first stab at looking at sustainability community language before sending it to the full council, with the TA noting that climate work is costly and time intensive. Longer-term projects like Beaver Street Recycling Center compliance, permitting streamlining, historic district exploration, and signed bylaw reform depend on staffing and budget approvals. The town's going to hire 2 to 3 high school interns. Is that correct, Jamie? Still, to study industrial park vacancy and underutilized commercial properties. Permitting 101 training is rescheduled for September 3rd, and the Design Review Commission needs some new members, which will impact sort of the bylaw with regard to. They want a little more teeth to sort of their, right now it's just advisory. So because we're losing some brain power from that, we might need to, we need more members to sort of push that forward. Next meeting is in July and August. We'll focus on new growth analysis, sustainability community language, and downtown revitalization planning. That's my report.
Thanks, Matt. Thanks. Communications Subcommittee, next meeting is to be determined. Do you have a date?
We don't have a date yet, but I do just want to mention that because there have been several comments in previous town council meetings about residents or emails from residents and how we can ensure that everyone is being responded to without necessarily overloading people with emails that all say the same thing or maybe even give conflicting information. We spent a long time discussing how best to recommend we handle those emails, and Councilor Grella was generous enough to type up a proposal for that. So hopefully we'll have that, get that over to you all shortly in a way that, you know, what we're recommending is that the first person who sees the email responds as a, you know, reply all to the whole town council, not have any opinions or anything, you can just say, yeah, thank you for your email and direct them, especially if it's like factual information, direct them to the right person. And then if anyone wanted to weigh in, you know, on policy or opinions, they would do that on a, one-on-one, not as a reply all. But that way we all know that each email is getting responded to, and then each counselor is still able to reply if they want to go into in-depth or have a separate conversation with the president. So Councilor Girl has typed that up. I'm hoping we make those final edits to what he had typed up and get all to you all, so that we can move forward on that. And that's all.
Okay, thank you. Town Charter Ad Hoc Committee, our next meeting is next Wednesday at 6 o'clock. So we haven't had a meeting yet, so that will be our first meeting, so really have nothing to report. And the police station building committee, next meeting is to be determined. All right, moving on, town administrator's report.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, just a couple of quick notes, just to respond back to, I'm sure he'll get this later, or maybe some folks can pass this along, to the comment Mr. DeRico made. Many of you may be aware, but unfortunately you cannot use the money that was appropriated for King Street. But just for the record, for people that are listening at home, the money that was spent or appropriated for King Street Memorial Park's renovation, at least phase 2 I think it is now, is from the Community Preservation Act fund. And obviously none of those monies in the Community Preservation Act can be used for roads. So I appreciate the comment from Joel. I think like all of us, and I know Joel and I have gone back and forth for years, you know, we have very little money in the operating budget in Franklin for roads, so his point is well taken. But we're going to need some new strategies on how to exactly finance infrastructure improvements. Unfortunately, the millionaire's tax has been successful in this, where we have been able to get some more funds from the state to do some more road work. So, and I still would give a shout out to our roads in Franklin. Like many of you, I drive around through other towns. And while they're certainly far from perfect in a community where we're in winter all the time, I can tell you from driving around Massachusetts a lot, our roads are in really good shape relative to a lot of other communities. So DPW does a great job. And on one other note, just that no other individuals have mentioned, a really historic day this coming Thursday, June 25th at 10 o'clock in the morning. There'll be a ceremony down at the Old South Church at 7762 Washington Street. That is actually going to be the day where the new family in that house is going to be able to move in. So for folks that are available and can come down, welcome Sally and her children to the Franklin neighborhood. And people are going to be able to take a tour of the inside of the building. It is magnificent. They've done an unbelievable job preserving the exterior of that building. So I think there's another success story, I think, in community preservation, where we're able to contribute some funds to the exterior of that. And as I've said many times before, but just while there's other folks here in the audience, maybe listening at home, for many years that building was likely to be torn down. It's a very special place. I know for many people who've grown up in Franklin, especially on that side of town for many years, and to be able to have Habitat for Humanity in the community and the countless, dozens, if not hundreds, of individuals in this community who have donated money, in-kind services, construction work, carpentry work, electrician work, plumbing work, so many pro bono services for people in Franklin that have contributed to that house, and to try to welcome this new family and their 3 children to our Franklin Public School District is really a historic day. So if anybody has time, come on, stop down. There probably will be a busy event. There probably will be a lot of people there, so be patient. But this coming Thursday, June 25th at 10 a.m., we welcome Sally and her kids to the Franklin community. It should be a really special moment for everybody. Other than that, thank you very much.
And thank you. Thank you, Jamie. All right, Fire Department Chief Allen will be swearing in a new paramedic.
Good evening, Chief Allen. I'm Chuck Allen, Fire Chief. Ladies and gentlemen of the council, one of the most important responsibilities of the Franklin Fire Department is identifying, hiring, and developing the next generation of firefighters and paramedics who will serve our community. Tonight, we are here to formally swear in our newest firefighter paramedic, Jonah Mortoso. Jonah was born and raised in Rhode Island and currently resides in Cumberland. She began her career in emergency medical services in 2017 as an EMT with Fallon Ambulance. She continued serving the public through her work through Coastal Ambulance. Jonah earned an associate's degree from Community College of Rhode Island before continuing her education with Bridgewater State University, where she earned a bachelor's degree in science and health with a minor in psychology. Following completion of her undergraduate studies, she attended the National Medical Education and Training Center and became a paramedic in August of 2025. Jonah joined the Franklin Fire Department earlier this year and has quickly become a valued member of our organization, and this evening will be pinned by her father, John.
It's okay. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to ask you to raise your right hand and repeat after me if you would. I, Jonah Mortoso, do solemnly swear to faithfully execute the duties as a firefighter and paramedic for the town of Franklin with respect, integrity, and excellence, and to uphold the mission of the department, the Constitution of the United States of America, the state of Massachusetts, and the laws and ordinances of the town of Franklin. So help me God. Congratulations.
Okay, Police Department have 2 new police officers. Chief Lynch.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the council, TJ Lynch, your police chief. Yeah, we have two new hires, one co-response clinician and an officer. And this is not one of the new officers you thankfully gave to us with your very smart decision. Those won't come until October. This is for a replacement for somebody that left several months ago. But right now I'm going to introduce Danielle. All right, so I'm excited to announce that Danielle Machado joined the Franklin Police Department as a co-response clinician on March the 2nd. She's replacing Sonia Wagner, who has taken a position as a co-response manager with the North Attleboro Police Department. Danielle comes to us with a strong background in crisis response and extensive experience working alongside law enforcement. She most recently served as a co-response clinician with the Northbridge and Douglas Police Departments and often picked up shifts in Uxbridge and Blackstone, where officers spoke very highly of her and was sad to see her go. In addition to her co-response experience, Danielle has worked at Bradley Hospital and provided mobile crisis services, delivering emergency and behavioral health support throughout the community. Danielle holds a master's in psychology from William James College and a bachelor's in psychology and criminal justice from Bridgewater State University. She brings a positive attitude, strong clinical skills, and a genuine enthusiasm to get to know our community and work collaboratively with our officers and partners. I just want to add that as more and more communities throughout the Commonwealth have seen the positive effects of a mental health co-response program, they are all starting to try to create their own programs, which is putting a tremendous amount of pressure on finding just even qualified people. So we hit a home run with being able to get Danielle, who's not only qualified, but extensively experienced, and in the several months that she's been with us, we definitely made a great decision in hiring her. So I'd like everyone to join me in giving Danielle a warm welcome. Caleb? You don't get to do that. All right, it gives me great pleasure to introduce and welcome the newest addition to the Franklin Police Department, Officer Caleb McLean. As a native Franklinite, who was a 2-year captain of the Franklin High School Division I wrestling team prior to graduating in 2019, Caleb is very familiar with the town of Franklin. It is no surprise that Caleb chose to pursue a career in law enforcement, as he hails from a family with a proud tradition in the profession, and especially with the Franklin Police Department. His uncle Danny McLean served with the Franklin PD for 18 years prior to joining the Mansfield Police Department, where he's currently a lieutenant. And his father, Joe McLean, has been an indispensable member of the Franklin PD for the past 21 years and is currently a sergeant. Caleb started his public safety career as a community service officer with the Nantucket Police Department in the summer of 2022 for a full year of 23-24. In 2024, Caleb was hired as a full-time patrol officer with the Nantucket PD and attended the 20th recruit officer class at the Randolph Police Academy. He has worked for the Nantucket Police Department for the past 17 months prior to transferring to the FPD. Caleb attended Norwich University in Northfield, Vermont, where he completed a bachelor's degree program in criminal justice and was a member of the Corps of Cadets at the oldest private military college in the United States and the birthplace of the Reserve Officer Training Corps, or ROTC. Caleb is planning to use his wrestling background and previous coaching experience to pursue opportunities to coach and mentor young Franklin athletes. Again, I'd like to welcome Caleb to the Franklin PD and ask that his father come up with that.
After he's sworn in, right?
Oh, yeah.
I got that. Hi, Caleb. I'm good, how are you? I'm going to ask you to raise your right hand and repeat after me, please. I, Caleb McLean,
I, Caleb McLean,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to faithfully execute the duties
to faithfully execute the duties
as a police officer
as a police
for
officer
the town of Franklin
for the town of Franklin
with respect,
with respect,
integrity,
integrity,
and excellence,
and excellence,
and to uphold the mission of the department,
to uphold the mission of the department,
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the state of
the
Massachusetts,
state of Massachusetts,
and the laws and ordinances
and the laws and ordinances
of the town of Franklin.
of the town of Franklin.
So help me God.
So help me God.
I'm gonna give you a hug.
Sure.
Joey, you got plenty of EMTs here.
Wrestling song.
I'm going to take a 2-minute recess. Call the meeting back to order. The next agenda item is approval of minutes. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of April 15th, 2026. So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Discussion.
Found a small error on the page 9 of the last packet of minutes. It says in the middle, it says zoning bylaw amendment 26-946 under the bigger header. And I think that's a hallucination because we didn't actually vote on that zoning bylaw amendment during that meeting. So I think that's a bug.
And which minutes were those?
These are the,
April 15th.
Page 9?
no, May 21st.
Oh, well, we haven't.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
We haven't.
Looking ahead, we gotta do one at a time.
One at a
Yeah,
time, we
okay.
gotta do. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next, approval of minutes, entertain a motion for May 13th, 2026. So moved.
Second.
Have a motion to second. Discussions, deletions, additions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. May 20th, 2026. I'll entertain a motion.
Second.
Motion second. Discussion, deletions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. May 21st, 2026.
Recording in progress.
Motion to approve the minutes of May 21st.
Second.
Discussion. Yes, here you go, man.
Okay, so there's line item A, there's the bold text, but underneath it, it says move zoning bylaw amendment 26-946, and I don't think that should be there.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can correct any errors.
Yeah, for
Okay,
some
so-
reason, there's just one sentence that got stuck in there from the zoning thing. But the rest of it, I think, is accurate with the fees bylaw.
I don't think it's use regulation schedule either.
No, the zoning piece is,
Yeah. So
but
they just- yeah,
it says the
just-
bylaw to amend the code of the town of Franklin at chapter 82. That part is, I think, started off, and it must just be a paste. I bet you a paste error from something. But we'll correct it.
Well, we're gonna have to approve it as amended.
Yeah.
So motion to approve the May 21st minutes as amended.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next item on the agenda is appointments. Reappointments and new appointments of boards and committee members. Clerk will read the appointments.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is committee appointments, June 17th, 2026. The town administrator has appointed the following individuals to serve on town boards and committees with terms effective July 1st, 2026. I'll read the committee name and the person's name with their address and their expiration date for their term. Gail Carner, 48 Indian Lane, term to expire June 30th, 2026. And she's for the Board of Registrars. She's for the Board of Registrars, Gail Carner, 48 Indian Lane, June 30th, 2026. The Charles River Pollution Control District, Mark Cataldo, 63 Cleveland Avenue. His term would expire June 30th, 2029. Commission on Disability, Randall J. Address 294 Country Way. Term would expire June 30th, 2029. Cheryl Fisher of 69 Central Park Terrace. Term would expire June 30th, 2029. And Kelly Quinlan from 36 Shady Lane. Term to expire June 30th, 2029. The Conservation Commission, Louis Puga. Address 621 Old West Central Street. Term to expire June 30th, 2029. Roger Trahan of 1 Green Street. Term to expire June 30th, 2029. On the Council on Aging, Kimberly Mucha from 4 Briarwood Road. Term to expire June 30th, 2029. Carolyn O'Brien, 31 Daniel Street. Term to expire June 30th, 2029. Elizabeth Sawyer, 10 Pear Tree Lane. Term to expire June 30th, 2029. Cultural Council, John Restaino, 29 Washington Street. Term to expire June 30th, 2029. The Cultural District Committee, Sue Cass of 146 Long Hill Road. Term to expire June 30th, 2029. Patrick Conlon of 626 Old Farm Road. Term to expire June 30th, 2029. Peter Rochette of 50 Cottage Street. Term to expire June 30th, 2029. Kyle Galvin, of 27 Church Ave. I'm sorry, for Design Review Commission?
Yeah.
This is Kyle Galvin of 27 Church Ave, Unit 2, term to expire June 30th, 2028. We already approved Mr. Lane for Finance Committee, but in addition, there's Thomas Sullivan to the Finance Committee from 7 Town Line Road. June 30th, 2029 would be his term expiration. On the Historical Commission, William Lee of 18 Martin Ave, term to expire June 30th, 2029. Phyllis Malcolm of 37 Uncas Avenue, term to expire June 30th, 2029. On the Housing Authority, Andrew Keppel of 579 Pond Street, term to expire June 30th, 2031. Library Board of Directors, Kathleen Gerwatowski of 12 Greensfield Road, June 30th, 2029. The Municipal Affordable Housing Trust, Chris Feely of 5 Taft Drive.
That's, hold on one second, that's not his address anymore. I don't know if that matters.
I just caught someone else too. I don't think that couples live on Pond Street. Which one was that? Which name? Andrew Keppel for Housing Authority. They're no longer on Pond Street. And then
Chris Feely sold his house on 5 Taft. He lives up at the old ski lodge. I don't know his address.
You can say now or formally.
Okay. I just don't want to say that.
So I'll go back for Housing Authority, Andrew Keppel, formerly of 579 Pond Street, still resides in Franklin, June 30th, 2031. We talked about Library Board of Directors, that was Kathleen Gerwatowski, and on the Municipal Affordable Housing Trust, Chris Feely, formerly of 5 Taft Drive, but still residing in Franklin, term to expire June 30th, 2027. Mark Minichelli of 31 Longfellow Drive, term to expire June 30th, 2027. Christopher Veriker of 63 Dean Ave, term to expire June 30th, 2027. Kimberly Muchow of 4 Briarwood Road, term to expire June 30th, 2027. And Susan Eunice of 47 Stone Ridge Road, term to expire June 30th, 2027. On the Norfolk County Advisory Board, Peter Padula from 14 Fort Apache Drive, term to expire June 30th, 2027. For the Recreation Advisory Board, Mr. Robert DeLorco, 7 Wilson Road, term to expire June 30th, 2027. The Zoning Board of Appeals, Isabella Carter from 407 Oakland Parkway, term to expire June 30th, 2029. Motion to ratify the annual appointments to the following boards and commissions.
Now I have a motion and a second. Discussion.
I support them. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I support these appointments. I do want to note that the Recreation Advisory Board continues to have an all-male composition, and I support the appointments tonight. But other appointment to boards have to improve with their gender diversity. Our master plan specifically identifies improving diversity, equity, and inclusion as a community priority. I was wondering if in the future we could sort of tap into maybe trying to recruit other parents, instructors, women's community groups, looking at the Disability Commission. Is this something that could look into in terms of gender diversity going forward?
Sure. I mean, I think if any of you could help recruit, it'd be helpful. I don't get a tremendous amount of applications for that board. I mean, there's a couple, but as Liz is doing a volunteer recruitment, there's a few vacancies that are out there. We usually try to do it this time of year, a little early in the spring, and so if we can do any recruitment, try to have folks apply.
The issue with that is that a lot of the committee that we're on is like girls soccer, girls. They're on their boards, so they discuss with us what's going on. So it's not like we're all alone, because girls softball, girls soccer, girls volleyball, feel like they all give us inputs on it. So every meeting they're there.
I mean, those are some opportunities to recruit them, potentially.
Well, they're not going to leave their boards to come on the recreational committee. That's
First of all, just through assurance, from my perspective, I said this before at many meetings, people step up to the plate, step up to the plate. For me to say to somebody you can't volunteer because you're male and white is a whole other problem in and of itself, right? So when there's there, but I will say our boards and committees, certainly in my tenure, have had a pretty good track record of this, and I think most of the boards have pretty good representation across the board, and we've never really rejected anybody, or I haven't, from volunteering on board. And so I think it's important to just know that, if people step up to the plate, they step up to the plate. Every other board and committee, I think, has had a lot of people from different backgrounds step up and be a part of those. And so I think if any of you know of anybody or recruit some folks to get on recreation, we'll certainly take a look at it for sure.
To be clear, I'm not suggesting that we discriminate. I'm just suggesting that we make sure our applicant pool is broad enough to make sure that it reflects, the people who are out there.
To be honest, I don't go out and pull people into this stuff. People step up to the plate. I think that's maybe a responsibility the council could have, or other boards, of trying to go out there. You're the eyes and ears of the community. You're the ones that network with people. You have a lot of stakeholders and constituents out there. Just encourage people to fill out a form, and also make sure they don't. Sometimes these appointments don't happen right away, right? Sometimes they may take another 6 months till there's a vacancy, or maybe the next year around. So we try to treat everybody equally, and when they volunteer, we recommend it.
Thank you.
Just a couple things. I think the most important thing is obviously these people step forward. I appreciate it, but as you noted in your memorandum, Jamie, there's still a number of open positions that are going to become available on July 1st. So the more people that can step forward, that'd be wonderful. The other thing is, the thing that jumped out at me when Councilor Cormier-Ledger was reading the dates. This is part of the reason why we're meeting next week to talk about the charter. These folks are lasting longer on their jobs than we last on our job. They get 3 years. One person gets 5 years on this. We get 2 years. So that just jumped out to me when I started reading off dates.
I'm totally agreeing with you on that.
So just a note. That's all. Thank you.
Any other?
Just one additional comment. It's great that we're doing the reappointment. For those, if you could, through you to Jamie, for those who are interested in applying, where can they see what the available open spots are?
You just go to franklinma.gov, and then at the top, there's a ribbon that says boards and committees. And you can first see all the boards and committees, and we always encourage people to take a look at what the charge, what the purpose of the committees are, what they do. We also encourage people to go look on YouTube or go watch a meeting or go attend one of those meetings to make sure it's the right fit and it's doing the things that you want to do. A classic case is Conservation Commission. A lot of people always apply and they think it's about protecting, going out and buying open space. And then when they find out they have to read huge as-built plans and engineering plans and things like that, sometimes people say, oh, I'm all set. That's not what I thought it was. So we always encourage that. And there is a boards and committee database there that shows all the vacancies, so people can do that. And we always encourage people as well to just check as many boxes as you like, right? Sometimes people check like 3 or 4 boxes and there may not be a vacancy right away. And so we try to get them, especially if it's their first time volunteering, we try to give them something that's digestible so they can learn rules of procedure and learn some of the town codes, some of the bylaws and things of that sort. So, but they can go right to the website, right to boards and committees. There's a form right there, and usually Julie or I or someone follows up with them, after the application.
Great, thank you. And there may be an opportunity for us to just, as part of our meeting, just provide a reminder. So
I know it's on public TV too. I mean, they're always,
Oh, yeah.
they're always on public TV, right, Steve?
Well, not all of these, respectfully.
No, the
vacancies.
Oh, the vacancies, yes, public notices.
Yeah. No, not. I didn't mean the meetings.
Just wanted to clarify.
Any other questions? No. All in favor of the appointment?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you for stepping up. All right, moving on. No public hearings, no license transaction, no presentations. Legislation for actions, Resolution 26-36, General Funds Appropriation Transfer and Adjustments, FY26. Clerk will read the...
Mr. Chair, I make a motion to waive the reading.
Second.
I have a motion to waive the reading. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous.
Motion to approve Resolution 2636.
Second.
I have a motion and second. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution passed. Resolution 26-30, FY26, snow and ice stabilization account transfer. Clerk will read the resolution.
Make a motion to waive the reading.
Second.
I have a motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Motion to approve Resolution 2630.
Second.
I have a motion and second. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 26-37, acceptance of gifts, Veteran Service Department, $750.
Quick question. I just want to make sure the last vote was a 2/3 vote. Do we need a roll call for that? Is this 2/3 or is that?
No, it's unanimous.
It was unanimous, okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is Resolution 26-37, acceptance of gifts to the Veteran Service Department. Whereas the Franklin Veteran Service Department has received several generous donations in the total amount of $750 to be used at the discretion of the department as follows. Donation summary. Franklin Veteran Service Department, $750. Donations to be used at the discretion of the Veteran Service Department through its Veterans Gift Fund in support of local veterans and their families. A list of all donors is included in tonight's Town Council meeting agenda packet. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Council of the Town of Franklin on behalf of the Veteran Service Department, gratefully accepts these generous donations to be used at the discretion of the department for the purposes noted above. This resolution shall become effective according to the provisions of the Town of Franklin Home Rule Charter.
Motion to approve Resolution 2637.
Second.
A motion and a second. Discussion? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you to all the donors. It's always appreciated. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. No future agenda items. Councilman Malloy.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to, at some point, have discussion around capital needs. Mr. Tirico brought it up earlier with respect to streets. We've all just been through the budget process. We kind of know where we are in free cash. I believe Councilor LeBlanc in the past has requested a listing out of capital requirements or needs or rotation over 10 years. Now that we're past budget, I'd just kind of like to revisit that, get a sense of what's on the agenda, start to prioritize it, figure out financing options, what we might want to do about that, and I'd like to dedicate some time to that discussion.
Agreed.
That's it.
Councilor LeBlanc.
Through you to Jamie, is on the Franklin website, is there information about the Beaver Street Interceptor, kind of the project and the length of it? Because that's one of the questions. How much longer do we have of this project? I didn't pay attention to it when I was on I'm on the council. I'm paying attention to it, so I don't know if that's readily available on the website. But if we could get information about where we are in the project. I'll watch Steve's video, yada, yada, yada. But that'd be one item I'd be looking for. And the second thing is, like I got nothing better to do, I flip through the channels 107, 70, 71, the government, and we get the Attleboro meetings. I watch those, I don't know why I do. But one of the things they did, their DPW came in and gave a presentation on what they were doing for Chapter 90 funds around streets, kind of to answer Joel's question. So I do not know if, and again, it doesn't have to be a formal presentation by Brutus, but a list of what we intend to accomplish with our Chapter 90 funds with whatever our allotment was. That'd be nice to have and available so that we can share that with the community. And that is it for now.
We usually bring Brutus into that, don't we, at some point? We have talked roads before, I know that.
Happy to talk about roads.
Yeah, that was going to be one of my future agenda items too.
I don't have anything specific, but I was wondering if we could get like a non-binding draft memo calendar of when we expect different things to be on the calendar for us to discuss. Just because I know you have that all in your head, but I have no idea. I can never remember when everything is. So if we could just get a sense as to when things are going to be up for discussion, that would be good. Is that something we can do?
Sounds great. I mean, I generally let you know your July meeting is going to be very late. You have a lot of stuff to get done. In the executive session in August. The first meeting in September, you're looking at a facilities deep dive into town property, as well as the police station, Parmenter, Davis Thayer, maybe a draft of the RFP. Then you're into September 16th, you're looking at a 250th anniversary update. You're going to be pinning a few more folks from police and fire, as well as Jeff Roy and Becca Rauscher here. That's confirmed. Then you're into October. You got 3 meetings scheduled or hold on the tax rate issues. So you guys wanted to do a bunch of tax rate workshops. There's going to be other stuff on those meetings, so that's why I laid out roughly 3 meetings. I think that there's a pretty broad consensus for many people to talk about that. I'm going to invite in the Board of Assessors. So that's both your meetings in October and 1 meeting in November. Then you're in the budget recap November 18th, and you're at Christmas, holiday season. I mean, so you've got a lot of other little things in there that have got to get done too. I mean, there's going to be other appointments to committees and liquor licenses. I know we had a couple more coming in. A Also, there's been a long-standing overdue issue with Millis and Medway over sewer capacity that y'all have to deal with.
Yeah, I got it.
I mean, there's like, I'm just letting you know, like, your calendar is almost totally booked until 2027, and that's not even including the stuff that we don't know about yet. So I think, you got a joint budget subcommittee in August, where I think the goals of that committee, plus maybe the capital needs and some other financial affairs will be discussed, and then whatever comes after that. So, that's kind of it in a nutshell.
That's always helpful. Thank you.
Those are like, I think, like the marquee
Yeah, because I
topics.
hear you rolling around that before, like privately, and I'm like, I need to get this on paper, so, and I understand it's flexible, but that's helpful. Thank you.
It just switches around a lot, and working with the chair, sometimes things get a little pushed off or accelerated. We got a couple street acceptances coming up, which require, unfortunately, public hearings. It's one of those things that's required. It takes 20 minutes, but it's still 20 minutes to do, or half hour. So, and then there's like a lot of outstanding business in July. You got a bunch of licenses. Like I said, the sewer issues. You got the second reading of the snow penalties over overnight parking. There's a long-standing issue with Forge Park on acceptance of an old piece of land up there. I mean, just some kind of basic stuff, but you got a lot. Plus, we've got about 4 or 5 subcommittees meeting over the summer. We're working on trying to get the downtown charrette with UMass Boston scheduled out throughout the fall. You got new growth to talk about with the Board of Assessors, plus all the other EDC goals, and as Council Griffith mentioned earlier, maybe a couple policies from the Communications Committee. So once those are done, we'll filter those in throughout the year. So I hope that helps.
It does, thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, the only thing I have, Mr. Chairman, and I know you commented online as well, Jamie, can you check with our friends at the state about the plan for that Chestnut Street, Pleasant Street, Earl's Way intersection? I know from talking to Jeff Roy, there was some money allotted, and I know it's just kind of been dragging, but we had another big accident there yesterday, and a lot of people in the community are talking about it, so I'd love to be able to just know that things are in motion.
Yeah, I mean, there was an appropriation in an earmark at our request some years ago in what's called a bond bill at the legislative level. Now, a bond bill does not automatically prioritize the money. The state has to go out and borrow the money to pay off that bond of those projects. This project was not on. As far as it probably goes right now, to be honest with you, that money is probably not available anymore. And also the design of that intersection, I mean, we're aware of it. It's just we're very limited ability to do anything about this. It's just very, very limited. I mean, you're going to talk $5, $10, $15 million project. So that's probably a federal tip project where we have to go through a federal tip process. We did meet with MassDOT about this over maybe a few months ago. I mean, ultimately, with the lack of resources at the federal to state level, I mean, the likelihood of that getting changed anytime soon is pretty slim. I know there was another accident, but I mean, this is a very, very large project to undertake, just like the one up here at the corner of 142. So I would like to have more optimism that there would be light at the end of the tunnel on a project like that, but it's going to take an immense amount of resources, and it's going to be very hard to do in a very short amount of time. I would be shocked if that ever got done by the end of this decade. I would say by the end of this decade, we might be able to have a schematic design and a plan, and maybe another authorization for federal or state money through Congressman Auchincloss or someone. We have requested grant money through Congressman Auchincloss's office in previous years, and we weren't successful. I wish I had better news, but I'm just trying to be honest and set the expectation that that intersection is going to be extraordinarily expensive, and it's going to be tough to finance without some sort of money coming from someplace.
So are there possible short-term solutions? Like just putting some stop signs or some blinking lights or until that money comes available?
I could talk to the town engineer about that to see if a blinking light or some other mechanism could do something. I don't believe. Unfortunately, I think the intersection itself is very troublesome, and until people decide that they want to slow down and be more conscious, I mean, the intersection is a little hard, but also people do whip around that corner pretty heavily. So it's tough, right? It's a tough thing.
Yeah, I'd just like to be able to tell people until, because that's such a large price tag, but until that comes, that we've at least taken some safety measures that maybe are within our ability to do so, if possible.
I'll certainly talk.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Actually, a few years ago, Ted, I talked to the woman who was in charge of Mass DOT. She's actually an East Boston kid. And I knew her, and I asked her about that, and she said, you're looking 10 years. So it's fine.
And that was when the federal government had money
Yeah.
for the tip.
Yeah, I had 3 future agenda items. First, in this order. First one is understanding of the water situation and wells in general. Over the years, I've asked questions of Doug Martin, and I've gotten answers to specific questions, but it'd be good if you could just generally understand, here's the way our wells are kind of situated. This is what we do. Like hear sometimes that we shut wells down on occasion. We sometimes need to clean wells because there's issues with mineral levels that are too high, manganese I already brought up. All these are, I think, of interest to the rest of the town council, to the general public, of how our wells function. The other thing, that, and I don't know to what extent we can talk about this, is that whole issue of the Kingsbury Pond, what's going on there. I'd like to really understand that as well. The second one is really, you already addressed, it has to do with the tax meetings that you're going to have. One thing I would just add in there is it'd be really good if when they come here, that they can give us examples of how they've calculated the commercial industrial tax, because I think everyone understands how the residential tax is done, but nobody really understands how they do the commercial industrial. So you could have examples of that. And then the last topic that I have is just, that came up tonight on the flock cameras. Can we turn those off? What's the situation there? I'd like to know more about that.
Just on that front, I know I did speak with Chief Lynch about that. He might be a good person to come in and speak.
He has in the
He's
past.
spoken on it in the past.
Did he come in earlier this year?
Not on that. Not on that topic.
No, he talked at the old council.
But we've had several questions around flock cameras from different places. And I know they've been entered and kind of one off, so it might be, to your point, a good idea to have something that.
Well, I think the chief did address it in the street parking.
Did he? I don't know.
He did.
Yeah, he did. When he talked about the police department and the services that they provided, and there was at least 2 or 3 other emails to kind of keep up around it. So I believe he did address it. And there's extensive information about it on the police department website. It's a fairly, it comes up periodically, and I guess it's a new issue for people, or it's a new issue, but there's a lot of good information and so forth out there. Since it does keep coming up, I don't know if it makes sense to have kind of a council-approved sort of message around what the cameras are, why we like them. Personally, I'm in favor of getting more, because I think they're a great resource. But, whether or not we have...
I'm going to disagree with you on that.
Well, I think first of all, and I just want to know, is everybody aware that there's a whole portal on the police department website with like everything that's there? So, I mean, when folks like this come up, and I know the ACLU is making a big push on this. I mean, all these are basically ACL form emails. I mean, most of them coming through, and that's fine. But there is a policy that we've had for 3 years. Everything's on the town website. I'll send out the link. And then at least it would be helpful if all of you could send that out to people that inquire with you, so at least they know that that's all there. And that would be helpful. And then I'll be happy to have Chief Lynch come in. I think as you guys are seeing, I think the challenge right now is about prioritization. And I think time is crunching a little bit on some of this stuff where we're trying to get all this information out to people. Happy to have the wells conversation. I'll see if they've had an old presentation. I know that they've presented on the manganese and lead issues in one well, the PFAS, we've gotten rid of that. I know that a lot of this is maybe there's some old information that I can send around to folks. And and whatnot. But I think the challenge, and I'll work with the chair on this, but the challenge is going to be fitting all of this in to public presentations during your council meeting. So if there's another suggestion that folks may have about how we get this information out to people, how we get up to speed on issues that aren't at the meetings, I think that would be helpful to me to find out how we can do those types of things too. Because you only know one meeting in July, one in August, and I can guarantee the one in July is really long already. So I feel like we're going to be delayed several months in even addressing some of these things.
There's 3 videos on the water department page. They spent 90 minutes talking to us, top to bottom. It's right on the town page. Go to water department, 90 minutes from the well to the faucet, 90 minutes from the flush to the sewer. That process has not changed. They go into detail on the water quality report, which just came in.
Excuse me, Mr. Sherrill, could you use the microphone?
I was a little lazy. Right tonight, but we're going to get away early, so I will step in and address the microphone. Steve Sherlock for the record. So yes, to clarify, in case people did not hear it, if you go to the town DPW page, Water Department, there are 3 podcasts. We broke it out as 90 minutes that I sat with Doug and Jeff and Jake to talk about the water from the well through to the faucet. And then we spent another 90 minutes approximately from the flush through the sewer. We did one other additional, and if I recall correctly, it was 22 and 23, then we backed in, I think it was 25, because of the additional updates to particularly the PFAS at, I think it's wells 1 and 2 on Fisher Street.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the Beaver Street Interceptor updates. As part of the video, they're on the pump station, lift station at Beaver Street, they're going to be turning it on July-ish for that entire piece. So, yeah, that's coming. But at least from the water sewer, they talk through the water quality report, and they get issues from time to time. We get notified time to time, but generally those are resolved. So, yeah, there is a lot of information already available. Thank you.
Can I just go back? Since these are my suggestions, I'd like to have Doug here so that we can hear from him and ask him questions. So rather than just watching video. Back on the flock cameras, my issue there was I was curious if the town council could ban them if we chose to. I tend to agree a bit with the person who spoke, the citizen who spoke. Just that I never used to really be concerned myself with these cameras or that they were security thing, but with the addition of AI, it's like the way I felt about it was like, hey, nobody's going to really be able to focus in on the individual citizen. They're going to be looking for the criminal or whatever. But with AI, you can focus on anything you want, okay, and AI will find it for you. So it becomes more of, I think, more of a privacy concern now with the addition of artificial intelligence, and I think it's something that we have to take a look at and consider if other towns and cities have banned it. I want to also just consider that as a group. I think.
Yeah, I think Chief Lynch should come, he can explain what he uses it for. I think that would be the, when he uses it. I know he doesn't use it all the time. He had a discussion on it, It's just basically, I know he was saying, in case like a kid got kidnapped or something, it's right on 495, they can see it, they can track it, they can get it done. I know Rhode Island uses it because my son gets calls all the time. But I was talking to Jim Lynch, and Jim Lynch told me that Kentucky gets like $2 million in tickets in revenue from the cameras.
Just for the folks watching at home, I just want to be clear, none of this AI or tickets, or we don't use this stuff for any of these things. So I totally agree with Council Grella and others. Like, I understand there's some anxiety out there, this stuff, but I think first, why don't we fully understand exactly what our police department in Franklin does first before we go down these rabbit holes, because I do understand there's a lot of fear out there. We use them in very limited circumstances. There's only 2 of them at the major interstates. And our chief has been pretty vocal about the containment of these. And so So I guess I would just hopefully encourage everybody, let's just first learn how Franklin does things.
Yeah.
You know, I do think you have some level of authority over this, but we'll wait for the chief to come in and talk about it.
Yeah, that's what I definitely.
We'll talk to him and see what.
I think he definitely should talk about that. We can go from there. Outside of that, I'll just entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor? Aye.
We are now producing this in collaboration with Franklin TV and Franklin Public Radio. This podcast is my public service effort for Franklin, but we can't do it alone. We can always use your help. How can you help? If you can use the information that you find here, please tell your friends and neighbors. If you don't like something here, please let me know. Through this feedback loop, we can continue to make improvements. And I thank you for listening. For additional information, please visit franklinmatters.org. If you have questions or comments, you can reach me directly at shersteve@gmail.com. The music for the intro and exit was provided by Michael Clark and the group East of Shirley. The piece is titled Ernesto Mañana, copyright Michael Clark and Tintype Tunes in 2008, and used with their permission. I hope you enjoy. By the way, you can also subscribe and listen to Franklin Matters Radio on your favorite podcast app. Search in podcasts for Franklin Matters.